Welcome to Savoia Pastry Shop. My name is Daisy Rivera Algarin. I'm with the City of Rochester's Small Market Division, our new department, Neighborhood and Business Development. Thank you all for coming and welcome to the official Sugarland. It is my pleasure to present to you today our Honorable Mayor Duffy, and he will begin our program. Mayor?
I don't need any notes for this because I'm a customer. And before we leave today, we're going to check Carlos Carballo's pockets and his car. He's spent quite a bit of time in the back already. The cookies are being made. I want to start by thanking Kathy and George and their wonderful staff. This is a jewel for the city of Rochester. It really is, for as long as I can remember. I wasn't here when it opened in 1929, but we look at the history of this bakery and what Kathy and George have done. I know Carlos was, but I won't. But looking at what they have done, they've taken over this great business and done extraordinary things. The expansion we're honoring today gives them a lot more space. But when you look at what they do, and either coming in here to get cookies or driving by and seeing the lines out the door. Usually when I come in, I always laugh because I start right to the left and work my way right around because it is like it is today. Now, today, it's mostly city employees who came for one reason. I think they're all here to celebrate the sugar in this bakery. It's a great time to celebrate really what the bakery does so well, especially during the holiday season. But I want to really thank Kathy and George and their staff. A couple of people I just had a note here. I just actually met Rick DiVincenzo. I think Rick is here. Rick, a baker for 24 years. Joe Cosentino, a baker for 31 years. And Jerry Gonzalez, a baker for 30 years. A baker for 30 years right here. Also, Lisa and Kristen, who are currently college students, and the two great daughters right here, and all the help. And every time you come here, this place is, everybody is happy. What I've always impressed with is to see the young people behind the counter. Everybody is so happy. Great customer service. It's just a pleasure to walk in and even be a customer here. But I want to thank Kathy and George and thank his great staff. And it says something about the family here. When you can have employees stay in a place for so long, and I would say that there's probably as much hard work and intensity going back there than any production line in this county or country, because they are working hard. This is the holiday season, huge demand for the cookies and all the treats, the cakes right here. But it is a 5-star business. It really is. And it has a reputation that probably goes all four corners of this community. And it's great leadership with Kathy and George and her family. Great help in terms of what I call just consummate professionals who work behind the counter and in the back making these great treats. And it's just an honor for us to be here. And I want to thank both Kathy and George and her team for investing in the city. There's a long history here for a little presentation, and I want to give it to him. And I was only kidding about being in the back eating cookies. He wasn't. He was actually surveying all the work. But Carlos and his team, Carlos, Daisy, everybody was here. The office that we have is now called Neighborhood and Business Development. They work so hard to help keep businesses here and bring new ones in. And again, I'm so glad that Kathy and George chose to expand here, to make this huge expansion, and not go someplace else, because there's just something special about the history of this building, as I said, going back in 1929. And I think that history will live on thanks to the great work with this great family, staff, and also the great work of Carlos and his team. So, turn over to Carlos.
Thank you, Mayor. It's always very difficult to follow the mayor because he usually says things so well, and he did again today. But, Mayor, I think we have to recognize this is the family sitting here. This is the reason for Kathy and George right here. They've got good genes. It's interesting. I was telling George that one of the reasons that I've been really impressed with the success of Savoia is because when George and Kathy decided that they wanted to get into this business, they realized that they could take care of the finances and the books and figure out how to market and all of that kind of thing, but they really didn't know how to make the product. And they knew that the product was great, and they really didn't want to mess around with that. So what they did is they asked their people, their associates who did the baking, who packed the product into the boxes, and said to them, keep doing what you're doing. Help us make this business a success. You're the reason why our product is so great. And they realized immediately that they could not be successful without the people who grew up here for 25, 30 years, who served the customer here for a long time. And as a result, they have in fact improved this business. Believe it or not, they have improved this business. And that's the reason that they're successful, the understanding that we can't accomplish good things by ourselves. We need others to help us, to support us. And I was thinking about that today when I was driving over here. And I also was thinking, Kathy and George, that we ought to have some kind of a cheer. Savoia is a word that we ought to be repeating. Savoia, Savoia, Savoia. I mean, you know, and we could have teams and high fives and all of that kind of stuff. So I, as the mayor does, and my colleagues who are here, we just think this is wonderful. It's great for the city because I know the two of you had opportunities to move to other places. And I shouldn't tell you this, but particularly Daisy and I and Matt asked for divine intervention that you not move. So I'm sorry we used that, but whatever works for us. But it's our pleasure to be here today, and on behalf of the mayor, I have something that I hope you will place in a place of honor for us, because you honor us in the city for being here. And the mayor congratulates Kathy and George Privitera on the expansion of the Savoia Pastry Shop, 2267 Clifford Avenue, Rochester, New York, December the 16th, 2009. Congratulations to both.
I'm sorry. Two tough acts to follow. Mayor Duffy, thanks so much for your time and your effort, your vision and leadership in the city, and we're proud to be here, and whatever we can do to help, we thank you very, very much. Commissioner Carvalata, you've been here since the beginning helping us out. Your team has been fantastic. I've dealt with departments, department heads, many individuals, and everybody has been the utmost professional, and every one of them always did what they said they were going to do. Thank you for that. Daisy, tireless, timeless. It's for a year and a half. We talk daily, nights, weekends, emails, voicemails, and just thanks so much for your tireless effort and helping us see this project through. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I guess looking around room number one, thanks for all the family and friends being here. My mom and dad, George and Ann, thanks so much for everything as always. Individuals that helped us with the project. I guess first and foremost, well, not first and foremost, but a necessary evil with any project, attorneys and bankers.
Easy.
My cousin Frank Maggio, my attorney and friend. Longtime friend Tom O'Neill from the Upstate Bank for financing. John Savino from First Niagara. Thank you so much for all your help. Who else? Curious. The wrecking crew. Gary Frederico and wrecking and all your help. Thank you very much for what you did. Scott Wigmore, Rick Allen, friends for a long time, tireless effort in helping this project through. Special thanks to Jim Barnum. Jim's been a longtime friend. He held our hand through this whole project. Anything that was hard, he always did it with a smile. He got it done. He was just amazing, and couldn't have done it without you, Jim. Thanks so much. And also, as a side note, Jim just retired from the City Fire Department after 31 years over here on Goodman Street. Who else am I missing? Oh, Tim. Tim and Deanne Conti from across the street, our neighbors from Stuckos, and Dina. I saw Wayne Pearl earlier from across the street from Fioravanti's. Again, great neighbors, great friends. Who am I missing? Christine Muller from Channel 8. She's been great with our advertising and helped us out so much. As Mr. Carvalata said, we would not be here if it wasn't for the people of Savoia, past and present, for 80 years. We didn't know anything about this. They welcomed us into this place with open arms, and we can't thank them enough. Couldn't do it without them. Everybody here, all 26 people, working hand in hand, arm in arm. We're so proud and privileged to be part of their family, really. Again, as I think the mayor might have mentioned, 3 people in particular. While nobody is more important than anybody else, Rick DiVincenzo, who the mayor mentioned, 23 years here. He grew up in the bakery business. His family owned DiVincenzo Bakery on Central Park. So Rick's one of a kind. General manager, baker, and one of a kind. What a great guy. Jerry Gonzalez. Jerry does it all. He's the gentleman of the crew. Not that they're calling that gentleman. It can get a little crazy in the back, but Jerry's the one that settles it all down for everybody. Jerry can do it all. Cookies, cakes, no matter what it is. He's done a great job in introducing a lot of new products for our Latin customers, and famous for his bread pudding. Jerry's bread pudding is the best. And Jerry's been here 30 years. And last but not least, if you ask him, he'll tell you who's the baker. Joe's the baker. Giuseppe, he left home at 13 years old from Calabria and worked on cruise ships, learning his trade. So he's been doing this his whole life. Again, he's been here for 30 years, and he does have the magic hands, and he'll let you know that. So, guys, thank you so much for everything.
I just want to say a few words. Just thank everybody here for coming. Most of you are customers, and I see you all the time in the store. I'd like to thank my family, Peggy and Jackie and their families, Buzz and my delivery people. They do it all for us. My sisters have been so supportive, and my children, Lisa and Kristen. This was a big undertaking for us, and we work a lot of hours, and they put up with no dinners at home and have to fend for themselves, but I'd like to thank them, and of course our family. And most of all, I'd like to thank the girls behind the counter and behind the scenes, Sally, Lisa, Eva. They've been here for many, many years, and they greet our customers with such respect, and they know their names, and I'm just so proud to have them as employees. Everybody behind the counter. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Although it's a little chilly, we're going to ask you to join us outside. We're going to cut the ribbon.
I heard you call me a whip.
Did I see that?
It's a high. I know.
Ready? No, these guys were now supposed to hold the ends. My bang-up job here is going.
Okay.
You guys all ready? Did you hear the orders?
I'm move in front of you a little bit, babe.
Wait a minute.
2, 1.
Great job. Thanks so much.